Hi everyone, I'm Jon Gossett with Life's Worth Living Foundation. We're a 501c3 nonprofit for suicide prevention. I thought I would tell you a little bit about one of my favorite books. One of my favorite books today is called Make Your Bed, and it's by Admiral William McRaven. Admiral William McRaven was a 4-star admiral, Navy SEAL, and he's written this book kind of to tell some of his life lessons that he learned through being a Navy SEAL. A lot of it was very valuable. One of my favorite stories in that is a story about Hell Week. You see, when you're a Navy SEAL and you're in training in San Diego, the 9th week of SEAL training happens to be Hell Week. It's where they try to weed out the weak, try to make sure that the people that are going to continue in SEAL training, that they're capable of being what this country needs as a future Navy SEAL. Admiral McRaven says, Wednesday of Hell Week kind of had this rumor. It was the roughest day. And what would happen is they'd wake you up in the middle of the night, and you would enter a little raft, and you would have to row that raft all the way down to what they called the Tijuana Mud Flats. It was kind of some swampy terrain where they would exit the rafts, and they would get chest deep. I mean, really, literally chest deep in this clay. It was thick. It was ice cold. The wind was howling off the Pacific Ocean. It was brutally cold. Sun hadn't even come up when they'd arrived there. They'd be out in that clay, and they would be doing relays. And what they wanted to do was 15 hours. They wanted to have 15 hours of relays and races in that thick clay to test you mentally and physically. They wanted to get you to your breaking point. Well, as they did that, midway through the day, that mud had drawn all the moisture out of your skin, and it became very difficult to continue doing what was expected. And as that sun starts to go down, that ice-cold wind whips up again, and these trainees are all chest deep. All you can see is their heads in this mud. And the instructors, their job is to harass them, get them to give up, because we need the best of the best to become our Navy SEALs. And so as they would do these relays and these races in the mud, they were pushed to their limit. And as that sun went down, the instructors lit a little fire on the dike, got some hot coffee going. They had some soup going. And one of the instructors looked out, knowing that these men were pretty tired. And he says, listen, all I need is for 5 of you, just 5 of you to quit. And as soon as 5 of you quit, we can all go back. We'll be done, But if you want to quit, come on up here on the dike. You can have some hot coffee and some hot chicken soup and warm yourself by the fire. That sounds pretty enticing when you've been in the clay all day. So, knowing that that was going to happen, one of the men that was standing by William McRaven kind of started to inch his way forward. William McRaven reached out, grabbed his arm, and says, no, man, come on. You can do this. We're going to make it. It's fine. We're almost there. That man kind of pulled loose from William McRaven's grasp, and he made his way up towards the dike. As he was doing so, the one thing that he'll never forget was a voice in the back started to sing. He said it was terribly out of tune and didn't sound good at all. But that man started to sing. The instructors up on the dike says, hey, there'll be no singing. If you keep singing, we're going to have more time in the mud. We're going to make sure you have more time in the mud. Pretty soon that one voice was 2 voices. Soon 2 was 3. And that continued till every one of those Navy SEAL trainees were singing in unison. And minutes before that man reached the dike, he turned around and heard everyone singing, and he turned around and made his way back into formation. And I think the power of this story is hope. All of us have the ability to inspire hope in people. And in today's day, there's some difficult things. Life is pretty hard. There are going to be some obstacles thrown at us. And one thing I've learned in suicide prevention is there's going to come times when people are going to feel like they can't go on and they're going to give up. The one thing that I found in common with most of those people that I speak with is when they're at their weakest point and they're really worn out about what life has handed them and what they're going through, they feel invisible. They feel like they're not noticed. They feel like the world would be better off without them, that nobody would notice if they were gone. So part of my message today is I hope that you remember that you can be that one voice. You can be the person that notices. You can be the person that sees people. And so I hope you pick up a copy of that book. It's an inspiring read, has so many lessons that are just amazing. It's called Make Your Bed. It was a New York Times bestseller by Admiral William McRaven. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes and talking to me tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again to the Miller Motivation Group. Take care, guys.